Have you ever stepped in to help a complete stranger, only to discover that one small act of kindness could change several lives forever? Sometimes, the people who need us the most are too proud to ask for help. And sometimes, the hardest part isn't offering kindness, it's convincing others to accept it. Today's story is about one ordinary man, one embarrassed woman, and one protective daughter who believed no one could be trusted, until kindness proved her own. Stay with me until the very end, because this story reminds us that the smallest act of compassion can become the beginning of someone's greatest blessing. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartwarming stories that restore your faith in humanity, please like this video, subscribe to spread kindness, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more stories that inspire hope and kindness every single day. David was 38 years old and worked as a high school history teacher in a quiet town in Ohio. His life wasn't exciting, but he enjoyed helping people whenever he could. After losing his wife to cancer 5 years earlier, he had learned that kindness often mattered more than money, success, or popularity. One rainy Friday evening, David stopped by a small Italian restaurant to pick up dinner. The place was crowded with families and couples celebrating the weekend. As he waited near the entrance, he noticed a woman sitting alone at a beautifully decorated table. She looked to be around 45, wearing a simple blue dress. Every few minutes, she glanced toward the door before forcing another disappointed smile. A waiter quietly walked over. "Ma'am," he asked gently, "would you like to order while you wait?" She smiled politely. "I'll give him 5 more minutes." 20 minutes passed. People around the restaurant had started whispering. Some looked at her with sympathy. Others simply stared. David felt his heart sink. He remembered how lonely public embarrassment could feel. Without thinking too much, he walked over. "Excuse me," he said softly. "This may sound strange, but if someone stood you up tonight, would it help if I pretended to be your date for dinner? Just so no one keeps staring." The woman looked completely shocked. For a second, she almost laughed. Then tears filled her eyes. "My name is Emily," she whispered. "My fiancé texted 10 minutes ago. He said he wasn't coming. He ended our relationship by text." David sat down across from her. "You shouldn't have to sit through this alone." For the first time that evening, Emily smiled. The waiter returned, clearly relieved. "What can I bring you to?" They ordered dinner and spent the next hour talking, not pretending to be in love, but simply sharing stories about life, loss, work, and second chances. David learned that Emily worked as a nurse. After years of raising her daughter alone, she had finally believed she had found happiness again. Instead, she had been humiliated in front of an entire restaurant. When dinner ended, David politely paid for his own meal. Emily insisted on paying for hers. Before leaving, they exchanged phone numbers, not because they expected romance, but because genuine friendships sometimes begin in unexpected places. The next Saturday, Emily invited David to a community charity picnic. "I'd like you to meet someone," she said. That someone was 16-year-old Lily. The moment Lily saw David standing beside her mother, her expression changed. She folded her arms tightly. "So you're the new guy?" David smiled kindly. "No. Just a friend." Lily didn't believe him. She had watched too many people disappoint her mother. She remembered every broken promise. Every man who said he cared. Every goodbye. As the afternoon went on, Lily stayed close to her mother, watching David carefully. When he offered to carry folding chairs, she grabbed them first. When he brought Emily lemonade, Lily quietly replaced it with bottled water she had packed herself. She trusted no one. A week later, Emily invited David to volunteer at the local food pantry. Lily came too. She expected David to quit after an hour. Instead, he spent the entire day loading heavy boxes, greeting elderly visitors with smiles, and helping children carry groceries to their parents' cars. Not once did he try to impress anyone. He simply helped. Still, Lily remained distant. One afternoon, Emily called David in tears. "Lily won't speak to me." David listened patiently. Emily explained that Lily believed she was already replacing her father. David asked one question. "May I talk to her?" Emily agreed. David met Lily at a nearby park. For several minutes, neither of them spoke. Finally David broke the silence. "I miss someone too." Lily looked surprised. He told her about losing his wife. About eating dinner alone. About learning that grief never truly disappears. "You don't replace people you love," he said quietly. "You simply make room in your heart to love others too." Lily looked down. "No one's ever said that before." Weeks passed. David never pushed for a relationship. He never acted like a father. He simply kept showing up. He attended charity events. Helped fix Emily's broken fence. Tutored neighborhood kids for free. Picked up groceries for elderly neighbors. Little by little, Lily noticed something important. David was exactly the same person when nobody was watching. One snowy December afternoon, Lily forgot her backpack after school. Inside were important scholarship papers. David drove across town through heavy snow just to bring it to her. He didn't even stay for coffee. "I figured these were more important than getting home early," he said with a smile. That night Lily sat quietly at the kitchen table. "I think I judged him too quickly," she admitted. Emily reached across the table and squeezed her daughter's hand. "It's okay to protect the people you love." A few months later, the town organized its annual Spring Kindness Festival. Volunteers gathered to honor people who had quietly helped others throughout the year. David had no idea someone had nominated him. When his name was announced, he looked completely stunned. The mayor spoke first. "This man never asks for attention. He simply sees people who need help and helps them." As everyone applauded, Lily slowly walked onto the stage. She held a folded letter in her hands. "I used to think kindness always came with strings attached," she said, her voice shaking. "When I first met David, he pretended to be my mom's boyfriend just to save her from public embarrassment. I thought he wanted something in return." She smiled through tears. "I was wrong." The audience became silent. "He never tried to replace my father. He never asked us for anything. He only showed us what real kindness looks like." Lily stepped forward and hugged David tightly. This time, she whispered, "I'm the one who won't let you leave." Many people in the crowd wiped away tears. David hugged her back like family. Not because kindness had created romance. Because kindness had created trust. Over time, David and Emily naturally fell in love, not because they had planned it, but because genuine friendship had grown into something beautiful. When they married 2 years later, Lily proudly walked her mother down the aisle. As the ceremony ended, she smiled at David. "Thanks for pretending that first night." David laughed. "I stopped pretending a long time ago. Life has a funny way of rewarding people who expect nothing in return." One simple decision to sit beside a lonely stranger changed 3 lives forever. It reminded everyone who witnessed their journey that kindness is never wasted. Even when it seems small, it can heal invisible wounds, rebuild broken trust, and create families where none existed before. If this story touched your heart, remember this: you don't need to perform a miracle to change someone's life. Sometimes all it takes is sitting beside someone who feels alone and reminding them they matter. Be the reason someone smiles today, because every act of kindness has the power to begin a story more beautiful than anyone could imagine.